Hi guys, I'm live. How you guys think my hair is doing? It's the second day I've visualized my hair like I was when I was 28. I think it's making progress. It's all observation, conscious observation, as opposed to unconscious, mindless observation, which usually results in the same thing you got before, which is very little. Something told me to do a room tour. This is a tour of the hippie room I'm going to do. So let me flip the camera. You guys might like this, actually. So this is my hippie room the way it is as now. This is the chair that I put my phone in front of that pillow right there when I record, because if I put it way back here, the phone doesn't have a good place to sit. Plus, it's too far back, I think. This gives it a sturdy place to sit up straight, and it's closer to me, which I like. This is a poster that Dal's daughter, April, I'll say her name, but not last name, got me like for Christmas or something, so like a bunch of years ago, and I really like it. It really says a lot about guitar on one little poster. You know what I mean? It's got the circle of fifths, but it includes the minor version inside, which a lot of people don't even think about. You know, you got to remember that there are major keys and minor keys, not just the major keys. A minor is 0 sharps and 0 flats, and C major is 0 sharps and 0 flats, and those are two separate, independent but cool circles of fifths. So the person that wrote this knew that. And this is staff paper that you can actually technically erase if you can find the right eraser. If you got the right pen and eraser, you can actually write tab and treble clef or whatever you want to write. And these are chord diagrams you can do the same with. There's some chords written out. I really like this poster. I mean, me and April hardly even talked for a long time. Probably still don't. But I don't care. I mean, it's a great poster she got me. I call it like I see it. There's a bunch of good scales. This is the poster. I'll say her first name, Julianne, my dad's friend that I know she works at the United Nations, actually helped me get my Committee 300 book. If it wasn't for her, knowing her, that she works for the United Nations, I wouldn't have got the Committee 300 poster. I mean, Committee 300 book. It got delivered because of her, in other words. But she gave me this as a present. It's a chakra poster. I really like it. It gives good energy. That's the root chakra. That's the sacral chakra. That's the solar plexus chakra. That's the heart chakra. That's the throat chakra. That's the third eye chakra or brow chakra. And that's the crown chakra. All 7 chakras. So let's go right. I started here. Let's go right. This is a picture of me in 8th grade that I actually made. That's in a frame I actually made at woodshop in 8th grade. So the whole thing that was made, that picture frame was made by me in 8th grade woodshop, and that's a picture of me in 8th grade. This is my Nirvana poster. Too bad they had to kill Kurt. LOL. Not funny about him dying, but funny that they think that he killed himself and a gun he could probably barely operate in his present state or his current state. That's a frisbee. That's 2 frisbees right here. One on top of the other. I'm going to go with this guitar. This is my favorite guitar. It's my pink Ibanez Jim that I tuned to E flat. This is my white Ibanez Jim that I tuned to D. This is my Hendrix poster, which never seems to get pictured in my videos. I don't know. It's in the wrong place of the room, but I love that poster. Here's my hanging shorts that I wear. It's a scarf that I use for live. This is a what do you call it? Dream catcher I bought one time. My Queen poster, that shows up a lot in my videos. I love that. Back down here, that's Dal. I'm not supposed to put her in my videos, but hey, it's right here. That's her in the 90s, you know, my wife. This is my mint colored Fender, smallest amp I own. I use for playing 2 amps at once or 2 guitars at once because it needs 2 amps for that. While I'm at it, this is my current song list. I'm kneeling down here. From now on, when I do parties, I'm going to keep the same song list I used for the last party, which was actually the first party I did. I added 2 songs to it though, as 2 encores. But here's the list. I'm sticking to it too. Unless someone says we don't like it, change it. Eruption, The Star Spangled Banner, Rape Me by Nirvana, Inner Sandman by Metallica, Back in Black by AC/DC, Freebird by Leonard Skinner. Second page, I Don't Know by Ozzy Osbourne, Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin. Running with the Devil by Van Halen, then Eruption. I can change it up this time, though. I can do either my own Eruption, or I can do extended versions of it, or I can play with it a little on the second take because it's the second time I'm playing it in the gig. You Really Got Me by Van Halen. Purple Haze by the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Fire by the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson. Ice Cream Man by Van Halen. And finally, I'm Free by The Who. That's my That's my list. I'm sticking to it unless someone says don't, and I really think I shouldn't. Then if I agree, I can change it. These are little on one of my speakers. That's a drawing of Big Bird that Amy drew for me. This is my set of favorite CDs. They're not all in there because some of them I have out, but that's my list of my top 12 favorite CDs. These are the stacks of my CDs. Let's get this. I should probably clean this room a little better because it's got stuff on the floor that doesn't probably need to be there. But then again, I like the cluttered look. I like the cluttered feel. It's like part of rock and roll. You know, you don't want things too clean, or you feel like you're a lawyer in an office of somebody and somebody. You know what I mean? These are, as I said that though, I just took some clothes out that I might want to clean up a little bit. These are my 7 stacks of CDs that I have in my room. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's important. These are the CDs of my gig. Remember I said I just read to you all the songs I do. These are all those CDs that I learned those songs from. Van Halen at top, Woodstock. That's where they get the Jimi Hendrix version of Star Spangled Banner that I do or try to do. Nirvana, In Utero, Metallica Black Album, AC/DC Back in Black, 100% classic rock, then Leonard Skinner, Greatest Hits, Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz, Led Zeppelin, first album, The Jimi Hendrix Experience, Our Experience, Avi Musicom, Eric Johnson, finally The Who, Who's Better, Who's Best. Those have all the songs on CD that I learn and play and practice for my gig. I don't Google things, except the words. I'll Google words if I don't know them, because what the heck, gotta learn them. But that's how I learn the music I get, is by CD in the stereo with remote, which should be around here somewhere, but it isn't. And that's how I learn. And then this is my Blackie. I just restrung it. I'm glad I have it restrung. I'm enjoying it. I tune it to whatever I need to for the song I'm doing. If it's E flat, I tune to E flat. If it's E, I tune to E. And I didn't have to use the moderator's fancy technique or have my friend across on the next street or whatever do it for me and have to take it to her and wait for her to do it. They now have nylon string guitar strings with balls on them, so you don't have to do any of that crap. This is my Jim Morrison poster. Love it. Not finally, but again, or still, or going. This is my 7-string fan Fred Ibanez guitar. I love this guitar. It doesn't have a whammy bar, but hey, nothing's perfect, right? This is a beanbag chair it sits on. This is my little thing of tools for changing strings and whatnot. And this is my screwdriver, not the drink, for changing my one string that's got broken tuning peg. This is my Mutt Ibanez guitar. It's actually 2 guitars I made into one because one was both were broken, but I combined it into one unbroken guitar. Fortunately, I had enough parts to do that. It's tuned left-handed, by the way. So when I play 2 guitars at once, the left-handed side one is actually tuned left-handed, not right-handed. So it feels like I'm really playing one left-handed guitar, one right-handed guitar. This is my black Jim Jr. I tune it to E. It's guitar case, my light. It's guitar case for it. Whatever guitar, all my guitars almost fit in that. If not, I have a second one that I can take if the guitar I'm using doesn't fit in that, or if it's a 7-string, I just have to carry it by myself, I guess. That's some jazz and classical CDs, if you can believe that. It's all jazz and classical there. I don't put it with my mainstream stuff, but it's got some wild, cool stuff. I mean, I got John Coltrane, I got Beethoven, I got Bach, I got Miles Davis. Some of it's in my real stuff, but I got Charlie Parker. I've got, just you name it. I got some cool off the wall stuff that's good if you absolutely need. Anyway, I tried to find a CD for me to have to learn Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to spoof today. I did write those lyrics myself, but I had to learn the song and the melody part I learned myself. I didn't use anything for that, but for the introduction, Dancer and that part was really complicated. I had to put it on Pandora and do the Pentatonics version because the band, because I don't have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on CD. So that's the one time I couldn't, because I don't have it. I don't have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I had to put it on Pandora. I Googled, I put it on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I got the Pentatonics version and I learned the chords for the intro because that's hard to do. And I couldn't do it in my head and I didn't have Rudolph the Red-Nosed, so I had to Pandora it. But that's the worst I do. If I absolutely can't have it, I'll put it on Pandora and learn it by ear that way, but it's still learning it by ear. It's just not with a CD. This is my Marshall tube amp, the only tube amp I own or ever have owned. Some knickknacks on top, whammy bars and stuff, picks. This is my dresser. This is my, I love this guitar. It's a Jackson guitar. I tune it to whatever, but right now it's tuned to E flat. I love it. Now, part of the reason I did this tour, these are my pedals. Let me get them out here. A lot of them already are out, but let's get the ones that aren't out. And that's a hard thing to say. It's the front of my Marshall amp there, my Marshall. All right, this is my pedal lineup. I don't use all of them at once. This is just a foot switch. It just tunes it from clean. It changes the channel on my amp from clean channel to distortion channel. This is my whammy pedal. Right now, it's not hooked up. This is my wah-wah pedal, and right now it's not hooked up. But this is what This is what I used today. I hope you guys liked it because I did, and that counts too. My chain, I took out some old pedals. They're not really old. They just haven't been used because the Radiator was taking over everything. But I think, hey, let's have a democratic process. I start with a Boss compression sustainer that I have. Cost me $120 or whatever at Guitar Center when I actually was allowed to go in there. I used it today. Then I go into the Radiator. It was made by the Maderator. Then I go into my Boss digital delay. I did that today. I love the sound of what I got today. I mean, maybe I was playing around with it, and maybe I have some bugs to work out, or maybe I have some. Yeah, but that's how I learn. I learn by playing it first, and then going, "Oh, I should have done that," and then I learn. But I like what I did. I did pretty good today. I just have some things I'm still working on that I played, and I think I'm better at it now because I played it just now. And I learned that way by doing it, and the next thing you know, I got it down. I don't sit there and practice ahead of time, to get it perfect. I just play, and if I don't like what I did, I learn it and try to do better next time. That's my Marshall amp once again. And thing cool about my Jackson guitar is it doesn't have really strong fret markers, so you have to use your ears more because you can't see where you're at on the neck as much, which I like. It's a challenging guitar to play, but it's also good for me. The Maderator always thinks I shouldn't even look at the guitar because that's what limits me is when I start looking at patterns instead of hearing the sound. So this guitar helps me with that idea. You just don't even look at the guitar. It doesn't have hardly any fret markers. It's almost plain. So anyway, that's it. That's everything, I think. So hope you enjoyed the tour. Love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.